Good morning. This is Angela with Today's a Cup of Tea. So, what I'm talking about today is something I talk about a lot, and it's very core, but it's very, very, very important, and it's something that comes up again and again and again. I actually thought I was talking about something else today, and then I was sort of nudged and said, "No, you need to talk about this," even though I've spoken about it like a half a dozen times this week in different avenues. But apparently, it is very timely and very important, and I can see that. So, when I am working with somebody, a lot of times we start talking about the importance of our thoughts and our words. It is key to so much because we, as creators, we do create our reality. And in using the words and thoughts the way we do, then we can create even a much stronger reality, or we can actually create a much more negative reality depending on how we react, how we act, how we use our words and use our thoughts. And so the first thing that I usually get, the first response is panic, because people say, well, okay, what about what I thought before, like 20 minutes ago, or I had this negative thought, and so many times, many don't even realize the negative thoughts that come in. And so it's all about this glass half empty, glass half full kind of concept. Is you can look at the same thing, and again, we're looking at perspective. I talked about perspective in the last webcast, but this is another way of looking at it, because when you look at things differently, you actually create them differently, and they manifest differently in your surroundings around you as you create them. So I'll get, well, so many people in my life are negative. So much is in my life is negative. Well, look at the world around us. Look at how negative it is. Look at it. Look at what's going on. And da, da. So my response to that is this: there is a positive in everything. The first step for us is to grasp hold of the positive and the beauty and the lesson in everything in our lives. So it's simply a habit, yet it is a really, really another one of these really ingrained habits, because we have done an excellent job. Again, the ego has done an excellent job. We've done an excellent job allowing the ego to rule us in this, at this realm, in this dimension in reality. And in doing so, let those anxieties and fears and stuff and unknowingness and separation creep in, so that it creates this negativity, creates this negative energy, and then it's sort of like a snowball thing, because the more you do it, the more that comes. The more you do it, the more that comes. So you can look at any situation and find something about it. In fact, I was speaking with somebody several nights ago, and in a spiritual discussion group that I run, and somebody brought up, and this actually came up as part of the topic we were talking about, and somebody brought up how his nephew committed suicide a couple weeks ago. And the nephew was fairly young, like, I don't know, in his 20s, late 20s. And he said, well, and he got to do some spiritual work with his family that he had not before been able to do. But in looking at it, he said, and actually in looking at it, as painful as it is, he realized that it's that person's path, it was that person's choice, it was that person's lesson that they had to learn, and his part in that was actually being able to comfort the family, being able to help his nephew pass over, and to utilize that ability and to practice it. And he looked at several other ways that it has caused a positive effect, a beneficial effect, in his life and in others as well, because it always teaches other people lessons of some sort, something that they need at the time. This is all collaborative manifestation of the reality that we have. So, I'm just taking that as an example of something that's really, everybody would say, well, what about death? What about suicide? What about this? Well, because there's always something positive, there is something positive that comes out of it. Sometimes it brings the family together. Sometimes it helps you know that person better when you didn't really know them very well when they were alive. But you know what? If we truly grasp that we just transition from one form to another, it's not too late. They're not lost. We still love, and we're still connected. Just a blip in time. So think about it. And what I tell people, the way to start is to find one thing a day that you would typically think of as negative, or find just anything, one event in your life in every day, and write down what was positive about it, why it was positive to you, and then start doing that for more and more. Do it several times a day. Do it once in the morning, once in the evening, and then try to start seeing the positive in everything. And the reason that this exercise is related to creating your reality and creating a positive experience of the reality is because if you can get in the habit and change our habit of having this fear and anxiety and negativity run our lives and run our actions, then, and we can see things from a positive light, then we can do a couple things. First of all, we then raise our vibration, because now we're coming much more from a place of love and positive feelings. So the vibration raises up, and when you raise up your vibration, then you attract other things of that vibration to you. And so the more positive you see, the more positive will come to you. And so it's sort of like this self-repeating cycle of self-fulfilling prophecy. So then you get to this point of being able to look at everything and say, okay, this is the positive in this. And then you start trusting that there's positive in everything that you have in your life. So once you trust that everything is positive, then you can trust that everything about to happen or to happen will be positive. And then you're actually manifesting a much higher vibration, much more positive kind of reality. Now, I know people out there are going to see this and they're going to say, well, that's easy for you to say, but I have this, and this. Everybody has negativity. Everybody has stuff in their lives that they don't want to deal with, but everything that is going on has to do with something else that has a lesson attached, that has something for that person, or else it wouldn't be in their life. And when you can, like again, when I say, when you start looking at it in a positive light, well, then it's a lot easier to, first of all, then you stop looking at it as something negative, or you stop looking at it as an albatross, and you start looking at it as a gift. And then what happens is your heart expands, and you become you become filled with gratitude and filled with love. And then what happens is then our light shines and our light expands. And then what happens then is we then help others with their light and raise their vibration around us. So you see how that is this chain reaction, and the effort that we're trying to make is raising the vibration. We're helping, Earth be reborn into this new, energy, into this new reality. And that's how we can help do it. And it's very simple. It really is very simple. And you might say I'm oversimplifying it, but really I'm not. This is just a very academic and elementary way of approaching it. So I'm going to leave you with that. I want you to start with the exercise of once a day finding something that is positive in your life. And then I want you to start doing it like twice a day, and then 3 times a day. And then I want you to find every event in your life something positive. And then I want you to look at people who you think negatively about and find what's positive about them and what is positive about them being in your life, and the lessons that you've learned and processed. These will take you huge strides in clearing out a lot of this gunk and negativity that we have become so addicted to. So I'm going to let you go, but first we'll do our clearing for the day and our belief downloads and stuff like that. And so take a deep breath and clear your mind, close your eyes. And so this is the clearing to get Creator's truth on being able to see the positivity and everything, on releasing the belief that there has to be negative to be positive, on releasing the belief that there has to be negativity in everything, that all the truth versus perception on all that, and then getting Creator's truth and clarity on being able to see the truth, the positivity in everything, to see the positive, and to also how the ego can see the positive in everything. And releasing all beliefs about that negativity, and then downloading all beliefs on that everything can be positive, that everything can be expansive, and all of the feelings on how to be that way, and that it's, including that it's possible, okay to, that it's safe to, that you're ready, willing, able to, that you have this in your life right now, that you know how to exist with it, that you know how to function with it, and to do that all the way down to the cellular level. And all of this to be done, obviously, without the trauma, drama, and illness, and with grace and ease and balance and harmony and joy and fun and excitement when appropriate. And then writing it off as a completed experience, everything related to that, clear the history, resolve the history, and offer to any ancestors and descendants if they so wish to accept it. So all you need to do to get all that is take a deep breath. Oh, and there was additional in there on, I forgot I had put that in there too. Yes, thank you. On knowing how to have your light shine, to knowing how the divinity within you can shine and emanate out to others. Because that's all related. So take a deep breath, and all you need to say is yes, positivity to receive it. So, on that, I'm going to let you go. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. This is Angela with Today's a Cup of Tea.